The Cleveland Browns had not seen a rookie quarterback when his first career started in nearly 3 decades, and on that night, the entire football world seemed to pause. This was not a playoff triumph, nor a dramatic division-clinching miracle. It was something simpler yet monumental in its emotional impact. A rookie quarterback stepping onto the field and securing a victory for a franchise long defined by heartbreak and inconsistency. For a team that spent decades cycling through quarterbacks like names on broken roulette wheel, this moment felt almost mythical. The date would be remembered for years, maybe even generations, as the night hope returned to Cleveland in the form of Shedeur Sanders, a 5th-round pick many assumed would never be more than a developmental project. Under the bright lights and immense weight of expectation, he delivered a performance that was poised, gritty, and electrifying. To understand the true magnitude of Sanders' debut, one must look at the history that made it so momentous. Cleveland had not seen a rookie quarterback when his first start since 1995, a time when Bill Clinton was president. Cell phones were bulky bricks, and Friends was just entering its 2nd season. In the years since, the Browns had cycled through quarterbacks like names on broken roulette wheel: Tim Couch, Brady Quinn, Johnny Manziel, Baker Mayfield. Each promising starts that ended in disappointment. Each one a reminder of franchise stuck in quarterback purgatory. More than statistics, the streak represented psychological torment. 17 consecutive losses by rookie starters, a burden that fans, analysts, and players all felt keenly. Every failed attempt reinforced a narrative of futility, creating a culture of doubt around Cleveland quarterbacks. Analysts mocked the Browns' lack of stability. Fans joked bitterly, and social media memes immortalized the team's repeated collapses. When Sanders stepped onto the field against the Las Vegas Raiders, he carried the weight of decades. The ghosts of past failures, the skepticism of analysts, and the hopes of fans who had long since abandoned optimism all hung over him. Yet from a very first snap, Sanders exuded confidence. He controlled the offense with a poise rarely seen in rookies, made smart reads, avoided costly mistakes, and demonstrated flashes of creativity that left commentators in awe. By the time the clock hit 0, the scoreboard read 24-10, and the Browns' drought of rookie start victories had finally ended. Shedeur Sanders' performance went beyond mere statistics. He completed 11 of 20 passes for 209 yards, tossed a touchdown, and had a single interception. But numbers alone could not capture the essence of what he accomplished. It was the way he moved in the pocket, reading defenders like a seasoned veteran. It was the timing of his throws, the trust in his receivers, and the composure under pressure that made his debut remarkable. His 52-yard deep strike to Isaiah Bond split defenders with surgical precision, demonstrating his arm strength and field vision. Moments later, a perfectly executed 66-yard screen pass to Dylan Sampson resulted in his first career touchdown. Sanders sold the fake, held his eyes downfield just long enough to manipulate the defense, and released the ball at exactly the right moment, showcasing his understanding of timing, space, and defensive tendencies. These plays were more than athletic feats. They were declarations that the Browns finally had a quarterback who could attack defenses at every level, confidently and intelligently. Even when faced with an interception, Sanders' response defined him. Rather than shrink, hesitate, or play cautiously, he reset. He shook off the mistake, maintained his rhythm, and continued to attack the field with aggression and clarity. For rookies, particularly late-round picks thrust unexpectedly into the spotlight, this mental toughness is rare. It is the mark of future franchise quarterbacks, the ability to thrive under adversity, to make split-second decisions, and to remain composed in high-pressure situations. Sanders' composure reassured teammates, earned the trust of coaches, and captivated a fan base that had spent decades enduring quarterback instability. Cleveland defense played a pivotal role in Sanders' debut. The Browns recorded 10 sacks, including 3 by Myles Garrett, whose relentless pressure disrupted the Raiders' offensive line on nearly every snap. This defensive dominance relieved Sanders from bearing the entire burden of the game and allowed him to manage the offense intelligently, mixing aggression with patience. It was a perfect storm, a rookie quarterback poised and confident, supported by a defense capable of changing the game, and a coaching staff trusting in the execution of their game plan. The balance of talent and preparation exemplified a textbook rookie start done right. The historical and emotional context surrounding this victory cannot be overstated. For decades, Cleveland fans have been trapped in a cycle of hope and disappointment so relentless that it became woven into the very fabric of the city's football identity. Each rookie quarterback who stepped onto the field carried with him the weight of expectation, scrutiny, and the ghosts of all who had come before. Tim Couch, the franchise's first modern-era draft pick, arrived with a promise of stability, only to be plagued by injuries and poor team construction. Brady Quinn, the hometown hero, entered with fanfare and hope, only to see his potential unravel under pressure. Johnny Manziel, a prodigious talent off the field, offered flashes of brilliance but became a cautionary tale of personal and professional missteps. Baker Mayfield briefly seemed like the answer, a fiery competitor capable of leading Cleveland to new heights. But even his tenure was marked by controversy, injuries, and ultimately disappointment. Each failure became another chapter in a narrative that had hardened the city's collective expectations. Young quarterbacks in Cleveland did not succeed. They struggled, they faltered, and they failed. Against this backdrop, Shedeur Sanders' performance was seismic. He did not just win a game. He symbolically ended a 30-year streak of rookie futility, a streak that had become almost mythic in its length and consistency. Every throw, every decision, every touchdown carry took on significance far beyond the field itself. For fans, watching Sanders maneuver with poise and confidence felt like a liberation from decades of waiting and fearing the inevitable letdown. This was not merely about a win. It was about reclaiming a sense of trust, a sense that the Browns could once again be a team to believe in. The emotional impact rippled throughout the city. Sports bars, living rooms, and street corners erupted with joy as people watched in disbelief and delight. Fans who had spent years cynically mocking the Browns' quarterback situation now found themselves cheering, hugging strangers, and sharing clips of Sanders' decisive throws. For a city long conditioned to despair, Sanders' victory offered catharsis, a moment of collective exhalation, a tangible reminder that resilience and patience could finally pay off, in broader terms. Sanders' debut reshaped not only the fan experience, but also the narrative of the franchise itself. Analysts and commentators who had long highlighted Cleveland's instability now found themselves revisiting the possibilities, acknowledging that perhaps the Browns had finally unearthed a quarterback capable of lasting success. The victory was a turning point, signaling a new chapter in the team's history where hope could coexist with expectation and where the city could finally look forward rather than backward. Sanders' performance reminded everyone that football is as much about belief and narrative as it is about numbers, and for Cleveland, belief had just returned in force. Sanders' rise also challenges conventional wisdom regarding quarterback development. Analysts and critics had doubted his ability due to his draft position, perceived inexperience, and relative obscurity. Yet his performance proves that talent, poise, and mental fortitude can emerge in unexpected places. His journey serves as a case study in resilience, preparation, and the ability to seize opportunity under pressure. In the same game where others might have faltered, he thrived, redefining expectations for rookie quarterbacks and reasserting the notion that determination and intelligence can overcome historical and statistical obstacles. The implications of Sanders' performance extend beyond one game. For the Browns organization, it signals a potential turning point in its quarterback history. For fans, it is a rekindling of hope long dormant. For analysts, it raises new questions about evaluation, scouting, and the unpredictability of the NFL. The game serves as a reminder that history, while instructive, does not dictate the future. Even franchises weighed down by decades of disappointment can experience moments of triumph when talent, preparation, and opportunity converge. On the field, Shedeur Sanders' mastery of both strategy and execution was immediately apparent, even to those who had only followed him in passing during preseason drills. From the very first snap, it was clear that he was not a quarterback who would hesitate or second-guess himself under pressure. Every throw was deliberate, every read calculated, and every decision made with the awareness of how it would affect the flow of the game. Unlike many rookies who falter when facing professional defense for the first time, Sanders displayed a level of situational intelligence that suggested preparation and mental discipline beyond his years. He wasn't merely reacting to the defense. He was controlling the game, dictating tempo, and forcing the Raiders to adjust to him rather than the other way around. His throws were a masterclass in precision and timing. On deep routes, he threaded passes between defenders with a combination of velocity and placement that maximized the receiver's ability to make plays after catch. On short and intermediate throws, he exhibited a subtlety in touch and anticipation, placing the ball exactly where it needed to be to exploit openings and create separation. But beyond physical skill, it was his decision-making under duress that set him apart. In moments when the pocket collapsed or coverage schemes threatened to overwhelm him, Sanders kept his eyes downfield, moved intelligently within the pocket, and selected the right target at the right moment. There was no panic, no forced throws, no reckless attempts, just a calculated, intelligent approach to every situation. Perhaps most impressive was his leadership. Teammates immediately rallied around him, feeding off his calm confidence and trusting his judgment in critical moments. Coaches could lean on him to execute complex plays, knowing he would read the defense correctly and adjust accordingly. Leadership in the NFL is rarely about charisma alone. It's earned through performance, poise, and consistency. Sanders inspired belief through action, showing that even a rookie thrust into the spotlight unexpectedly could command respect and unify a team simply by executing at an elite level. Every play reinforced his presence as a quarterback who could balance intelligence, athleticism, and mental toughness, a combination that signals not just a great debut, but the promise of a long-term franchise cornerstone. Beyond the field, the narrative itself was transformed.